1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Happy First Friday ArtWalk. Can you guys believe that it's June? Because I can't. It's Erin from Studio E Photography, and I have been working really hard to get set up at my new studio, and I can't wait to have you all in here. We've taken a few extra safety precautions here, and I am able to photograph you safely in the studio and outside, so please get in touch if you are ready to be photographed, although I have a feeling that flow is going to come after everyone catches up on their haircuts. But anyway, so I can't wait to have you in, and so I'll give you a little tour here in just a moment of what I've been working on in the studio, and then also how to access my studio. And why that's important is because I'm in the alley now, and a lot of people don't know that I'm here or that this space exists, and it's a really, really cool little space, and so I'm going to show you how to access this area. That will be helpful because I've also been working with a handful of artists to set up an alley art pop-up. Say that 3 times fast. And so we're gonna have a handful of artists and we're gonna be back here selling art, and we will have some live music and kind of throw a little party back here, of course safely and following protocol, but we hope you can join us. So stay tuned for that information as it starts to unravel. That's going to be probably towards the end of June, maybe sometime early-ish July as well. So we will be letting you know about how you can come and shop real live art. How do you get to my studio then? So right across from Paperclip here on North Wisconsin, you will see the Last Resort. You go into that area where there's a hidden door. When I'm here, it's open. You go down this alley, or this little breezeway here. Take a left. And right here, friends, is Studio E Photography. So come on in. I share the alley with Toggery Elevated and High Alpine. We've got Treads and Threads, Blackstock Bistro, and more. So I am on this side of it. That's what it looks like from the alley. And you can enter this way as well. So come on in. See what we're up to.
Buckel Family Wine can be found at 1018 Highway 135 in Gunnison, Colorado. That is on the north end of Gunnison on your way up to Crested Butte. Buckel Family Wine is currently featuring John Fellows, a local Crested Butte artist. His block print art is up in our gallery and available for purchase. Come on by our industrial-styled winery and enjoy a glass with us. We have tastings and wine flights available. We also have bottles for sale so that you can enjoy them at home. We look forward to sharing the art and science of wine with you. So come on by and keep your eyes open for any events that may be of interest to you.
Hello everyone, Anne Michelle with Gunnison Gallery. Thank you for virtual art walking with us on Friday, June 5th. Our featured artist this month is Diane Del Duca with her alpaca needle feltings. We also feature 60 local artists in our gallery, and we are going to give you a little tour of the whole gallery and all of our artists. We have some sales going on this month, 20% off our Peruvian butterflies, 20% off Cheryl St. John paintings, 20% off Carol Ann Rasmussen originals, and 20% off Becky Johnson original pastel paintings. So enjoy the videos.
Welcome to the Gunnison Gallery Virtual Art Walk Tour. Welcome to Gunnison Gallery. We feature 60 local and Colorado artists, including Cheryl St. John, plein air oil paintings, Marty Douglas, hand-painted, hand-carved gourds, Heather Peterson, fused glass night lights, hair clips, and stained glass frames. We also feature Tierney Miller, oil paintings and giclées. We feature Jim Seitz, aspen turnings. We feature Sharon Irwin, geraniums for your garden. Rachel Whitmore, hand-beaded jewelry. So beautiful. Rocky Mountain Leaf Company, aspen leaf ornaments and earrings and jewelry. Dancing Elk Designs, antler jewelry made of elk, deer, and reindeer antler. Copper Gulch Designs, polymer clay earrings and necklaces, $16 to $30. Flower Sticks by Maggie Hansen. Cheetah Bronze by Margaret Tangy. Earl Alford, basswood and walnut fish carvings. Beautiful. This one is a greenback cutthroat. Mary Hoeksema, original watercolors. John Holder, photography. We have note cards, prints, metal prints, canvas photography, beautiful unframed prints. Teresa Eli, handmade note cards. She has some new designs that are so fun. She does alcohol ink tiles. Greg Morin, photography. Butterflies from Peru. Ceramic fish, trout, by Bridget Egley, Leadville artist. Diane Del Duca, our featured artist, this month with her alpaca wool needle feltings. We have Melody and Mike Searle, porcelain ceramics. Beautiful, functional, microwavable, dishwasher safe. Heather Laurie, silk scarves. Kathleen Kortner, mosaics. Margaret Tangy, acrylic paintings of original of horses. Bronze, Margaret Tangy, Daphne Russell, Margaret Tangy, and Daphne Russell. Moose antler carving by Deb and Deirdre Jones from Colorado Springs. Maddie Klesmeyer, ceramics. Luis Alcantar, eagle kachina, and peace pipe and tomahawk. Mary Hoeksema, More Jim sites. Becky Johnson, original pastel paintings. Janet Grenewald, mosaic, tile, wall hangings, and rocks for your garden, doorstop. Greg Brunson, original watercolor with gouache. Corey and Leanne Silverman, hand-blown glass from the furnace in Lakewood. Stained glass lamp. Connie Rudd, nature and wildlife photography. We have prints, note cards, luggage tags, coasters. Louisa Naughton, porcelain, functional, microwavable, dishwashable, safe ceramics. And Michelle, mosaic art guitars using broken instruments. Keith and Nancy Chu from Colorado Springs, copper sculpture. Teresa Eli has some new stitch meditations that are so much fun. She also has scarves and more tiles. Rita Herring, light switches. Carol Ann Rasmussen, original alcohol ink on Yupo paper paintings. Award-winning artist. This poppy painting here, she won first prize in the Montrose Art Guild. Gary and Luke Duncan, aspen turnings. Bill Wilson, ceramics. Original turkey feather paintings by Dee Rays from Pagosa Springs. She uses a brush with 6 hairs. It's so detailed. Stained glass by Maggie Hansen. Stained glass panels by Maggie Hansen. She also does beautiful little ornaments. Deirdre Jones jewelry. Wendy Preston jewelry. And Deirdre Jones jewelry. Thank you so much for virtual art walking with us. For the month of June, Gunnison Gallery is featuring alpaca wool needle feltings by Diane Del Duca from Canyon City. Beautiful pieces needle felted from her own alpaca wool. So beautiful. Diane has 10 alpacas. She shears them once a year, and then she spins the wool, and then she also makes smaller pieces. So beautiful. She also brought us a few alpaca wool and cashmere hats. The rest of her show is here. So beautiful. We have the Tiger Burning Bright. This one is called Snowy Love Fest. Blondie. Love Sparkles. Precious Pandas. Guardian of the sky. Where's your mom? Proud peacock and kissing monkeys. We hope you have a fabulous day. Diane Del Duca is demonstrating alpaca wool needle felting at Gunnison Gallery. Diane has 10 alpacas and shears them once a year and uses their wool for this needle felting. Layering the colors of the different alpacas, needling one fiber at a time. This eagle is a private commission she's doing for a customer that requested it.
Hi, I'm Diane Del Duca, and I am showing this month, the month of June, at the Gunnison Art Gallery, and we're going to be exhibiting this stuff in our virtual art walk on First Friday. And what I do is sculptures that are needle felted out of my alpaca fiber. And it's a process that involves poking a needle into fiber. And this is my passion. It's what I love. And these are the pieces that I'm showing. And so I hope you come to Gunnison Gallery to enjoy my work. And I also show at the Blue Spruce Art Gallery in Florence, Colorado. But this show means a lot to me, and if you could share in what I do as my passion, it would be wonderful. Thank you.
This is my story of how I started and sharing with the stories of my family and to different tribes. Thank you.
How young were you when you started drawing?
Well, I started drawing as a kid, well, mostly with anime. And then like 6 years ago, that's when I decided to do this kind of drawing. Because years ago, as a kid, I always watched my classmates draw, because he will always bring out his sketchbook and start drawing out kachinas, if you may have heard or not, that they're like our spirits that we like worship, because they have like different kind of like what they represent. So I always see him like draw a lot. That's what like inspires like all the kids to like be able to draw like that, and to like same thing, to keep the generation going. And
well, I just opened the door after letting it cool off all night, and I've been doing this for over 50 years, opening kilns, and I'm always excited. New glazes, old glazes, getting down Pam's and my work for the glazes. It has just been wonderful. My whole life to do this. Sometimes happy, sometimes sad. But this one is an A++.
Hi, I'm Deirdre Jones. Welcome to my jewelry studio. I'm going to give you a little tour. Here's my acetylene torch. It's used for fabrication and metalwork. These are my little boxes of where I keep my materials, metal, stone. This is my metal buffer. It's where I shine my metal when I'm done with the fabrication process. This is my trusty King cab machine. This is where I make my cabochons, where I cut and shape the stones that I use. There's a saw. And here are some of the stones that I've been working on. Some are done, some are waiting to be worked on. Over here is my jewelry bench. This is some of the jewelry that I'm working on currently. I always try to sketch out my ideas. Some more jewelry. An essential piece of equipment is the baby monitor. I get a lot of my work done while the baby is napping. Liana comes down and helps me sometimes in the jewelry room. Some tools and equipment. Over here we have the rolling mill. It's used for texturing metal, and I also have the pickle pot. This is what I use to soak metal to get the fire scale off after it's been soldered. And over here is where I photograph my jewelry. Thanks for stopping by.
grew up on an old dirt road. Pedal to the metal, as dead as I was told. Until I found out that my brand new clothes came secondhand. Rich kids next door, well, I grew up fast, you know I grew up big. There's 1,000 things inside my head I wish I had seen. Now I'm just wandering through a real bad dream. Feeling like I'm coming apart of the scene. So thank you, Jack Daniels. Oh, no, 7, Tennessee whiskey I've been drinking and never ain't just stop to look good to me. Gonna have to pull me to the fire deep. Thank you, Jack Daniels. Oh, no, 7, Tennessee whiskey I've been drinking and never. No, I can't stay here too long. Cause I can't go a week without doing wrong. Yeah, yeah. Without doing wrong. Without doing wrong. Without doing wrong. Sickness, fossils, graphical roots. Feeling like an open out pair of shoes. Tell me what it is that I should do. Slipping in the sticker only halfway through. Watching as his wings spread as wide as can be. Coming over here and wrap them around me. Yeah, all I wanna do now is fall asleep. So come down here and lay next to me. Yeah, thank you, Jack Daniels. Whoa, number 7, Tennessee whiskey I'll be drinking in heaven. Up here, the bottle never runs dry, and you never wake up with those tears in your eyes. Yeah, thank you, Jack Daniels. Whoa, number 7, Tennessee whiskey I'll be drinking in heaven. Angels start to look good to me. They're gonna have to pull me to the fire deep. Yeah, yeah. To the fire deep. To the fire deep. To the fire deep.
Hi, my name is Teresa Golden. I am a nature and wildlife photographer located here in Gunnison, Colorado. I am having a joint show with Joseph Edenbach at the Gunnison Arts Center, and I would like to share some of my work. This first one is called Owl Eyes. It is 2 little baby owlets who were in a nest. This second one, it was taken on Mount Evans, and it is entitled Learning to Climb, and it is baby mountain goats. And this bottom image is called Let's Play, and it is 2 young elk. Notice they have little spots just like deer.
Thank you.
So Joseph and I take photographic images in the hope to promote wildlife and habitat conservation and protection. Gunnison, Colorado is a wildlife-rich environment, and we feel that it should be more actively protected and become a national park. I really like the name Blue Mesa National Park because we do have Blue Mesa Reservoir just a few miles outside of town, and it is the largest body of water in Colorado.
Hi, I'm Joe Innenbach. I'm presenting my photographic works at the Gunnison Art Gallery this month, along with Teresa Golden. My signature shots have, up to this point, generally have been flamingos. In fact, I even have an entire book that I've put together on flamingo shots. And here are some of the flamingos shots that we've decided to embrace and present here at the gallery, as well as some other shots over here of a smaller size. These prints here are 11 by 14 canvas prints, unframed. They are the flamingos. Some of the same flamingo shots we have on the other wall. This is one of my signature pieces here. It's a flamingo profile. It's also the cover of my book on flamingos and birds. It's a 20 by 30 framed canvas print.
Although flamingos are not native to Colorado, you can find them at the local zoo, and they are Joseph's signature shot. This is a 24 by 36 framed canvas print, and it is called The Launch. And it was actually taken along Highway 50, just out by the airport here. It is a red-tailed hawk, and when they say timing is everything, that is actually a truism. You can see that this hawk is launching into flight, and just the tips of its talons are still on the fence.
I call this photograph here, Headed to the Top. It was taken very near the top of Mount Evans here in Colorado. These two mountain goats just look so majestic, and they were near the very top of Mount Evans, which is at over 14,000 feet.
Two more of my favorite images is the nanny and kid. It is a mountain goat and the baby, and that was taken on top of Mount Evans. And this image is Gloria's Golden. It was taken last winter as the eagle was taking off from the ground. These two pictures were also awarded honorable mention in the wildlife category for the annual photography awards. It is an internationally entered and judged organization. It is very prestigious, and I just found out about it right before the show, so I am quite honored to add these certificates to the display here at the Gunnison Arts Center. This is a very special image to me, and it's actually a lot of fun. This is called Bighorn Lineup. My photo partner, Joseph, who I'm doing the show with, and I went out. This was actually taken in Saguache County, which is just an adjacent county. We were out just driving around, and we saw something in the distance, and when we got closer, we could tell that it was a small herd of animals, and so we started to walk closer because they were so far away, and Joseph was making all kinds of noises, crunching on all the sagebrush, rubbing his coat because it was winter time, and coughing, and I was like, doesn't he know what a wildlife photographer is supposed to be quiet and sneak up on the animal? And so I thought he had just totally ruined the entire shot. And then we walked down in this dip and we couldn't see the animals, and so I was like, oh well, we got some exercise today. Well, when we crested this little hill, the bighorns were all lined up looking in our direction to see who or what was making all of this racket. So the bighorn lineup is a very special picture for me, not only with the very fun story of Joseph seemingly sabotaging this picture opportunity, but recently I was awarded honorable mention by the Annual Photography Award International Organization, and that was quite a surprise and quite an honor. This is kind of my autumn wall. This one was out by Lake City, called Awesome Autumn. This is taken at a local fishing hole, and it's in the aspens with a beautiful golden canopy above. And this is one of my absolute favorite light images, and it is called Graceful Doe. These are all 16 by 20s, unframed. This image is a 20 by 48 framed print of the Gunnison River at the start of the Black Canyon. And I couldn't figure out why the Black Canyon had this illusion of black and dark when I have seen it in beautiful color throughout all of the seasons. And I actually learned that there is a section of the canyon that only receives 33 minutes of daylight every day. So that's where I got its name.
This one here happens to be my favorite. I call it cute as a moose. And it's a young, very young moose that happened to be near a creek, near some water, having a drink. And I happened to get a really nice shot of it looking directly at me. It's my favorite.
Joseph and I would like to say thank you to the Gunnison Arts Center for allowing us to display our nature and wildlife photography in the main gallery. It is a beautiful historic building, and it is definitely an honor to show our work here.
Teresa and I feel very honored and privileged to present here in the Gunnison Arts Center. We both feel very strongly about the preservation of the wildlife, not just in this region, but in general, throughout Colorado and throughout the world, as far as that goes. And we feel very privileged that we live in this wildlife-rich environment, which has allowed us to take all these wonderful, beautiful pictures here in and around Gunnison and around in Colorado. So thank you for the opportunity of presenting here, and I hope you, as patrons of the arts here, appreciate it and enjoy it. Thank you.
Hi everybody, welcome to the shop at the Gunnison Arts Center. Here we house 13 local artists, all in different stalls at the moment. I'm going to take you on a quick tour and just show you which artists we have in our shop. I also want to let you guys know we have some fun things coming up this month at the shop. So we still have Shop the Shops at noon during the week, and those are going to change around. We'll have like a photography Friday and a $30 Thursday, but we're also going to have an extra special Shop the Shop where we get to meet one of our artists, Cheri Isgreen. It's right here behind me. On the 20th, we're going to get to meet Cheri, talk a little bit about her process, and learn more about her work. So join us 10 a.m. Saturday the 20th. I have some exciting news. Our shop is now online, so you can find 10 pieces each from each of our artists. In our online shop, just go to GunnisonArtCenter.org/shop and shop to your heart's content, and we'll deliver.
Gunnison Arts Center brings so much to this community here on so many different levels. They support all of us musicians and artists out there, and so many things. So anyways, we'll just keep playing music. Here's another tune that Jenny wrote called Winter Blue. So we hope hopefully we're out of winter now.
Close to spring.
It was snowing the last 2 days. But anyways, winter blue.
Winter blue.
And I start this off, don't I?
Oh yeah.
Hello, Gunnison County. I'm Paige Stewart. I am a ceramic artist and potter. I just moved back to Gunnison a year and a half ago from Los Angeles, and I am very glad to be back. I will give you a little tour of my work so you can see kind of the different things that I've been doing. So we'll start over here. I did begin as a potter, so a lot of my work is actually thrown on the wheel. So this is my wheel, which right now has a large bowl on it, which I have a pottery line called Soil and Toil. And then up above, this is a new series of lamps that I've been working on, which just gives you a little different range of work. And then these are my new favorite, which for the last 2 years I've been making predominantly sculptural work. So this is kind of a, some people really love function. So that's a good example of a functional piece of art. People like the mix. And then this is more of those pieces in process. So I shape them and make them. So this is still very wet clay that I'll do a lot more to. And then this here is a little bit more finished work. And then the lamp parts will come here and be attached. So that's a series that I'm doing. And then up above, just to give you a different reference point, these are some larger sculptural forms that I've been doing in ceramic as well. and they are what we call coil built. So they're like little coils that add up to something amazing. And I do teach at the Art Center too, so hopefully our sculpture class, thanks to COVID, did get canceled, but I'm sure it'll come back to life. And then these are more what I've been doing the last 2 years, which are small sculptural forms and then larger pieces. And I predominantly use black and white for this series, just because I like the simplicity. And yeah, that's kind of my studio right now. One other thing that's happening, and thanks to Jim Sykes, who you may all know, I'm working on some lamps. The light's a little rough there, everybody, sorry. From pieces of a totem that I'm working on, and Jim is making me the bases in lathed wood. This is another one of the totem parts that's a top. And yeah, this is just my little space where I make everything. What else would Brianna want me to tell you? It's nice to be back in Gunny. I'm not selling anywhere locally, but maybe someday that'll happen. But yeah, plenty of classes that'll come up that I hope to see you guys at. And I hope you're all having a wonderful week and you're staying healthy and sane. Bye from the studio.
Hi, this is Cheri Isgreen, and I'm here in my studio today where I paint my watercolor, pastels, and mixed media. Here's a little tour of my studio. You can see it's a nice light space, very compact. All my materials are right at hand, and this is the little area I work in. I painted several large pieces for exhibition, including a Raven series, and some horses. This is a Lipizan foal, and this is my horse, Monarch, who also is a Lipizan. And this piece is a cattle drive I came across when I was going over Grand Mesa. I'm also doing lots of small work, and I'm excited to show a large collection of these small works, which I call Simple Pleasures and Wee Treasures. This is part of the pledge, the Artist Support Pledge. And this came about by an artist in England, and artists around the world are now doing it. And the Artist Support Pledge is that for every $1,000 that artists make in sales, they pledge to spend 20% of that buying another artist's work. And this all came about because with the virus and the pandemic, with the quarantine and the social distancing, artists haven't been able to show their work and they haven't been able to teach. So the first group of artwork I want to show you are tropical florals. These were painted on site in Mexico. The first one was painted at the Botanical Gardens in Puerto Vallarta. And the second one, I'll try and do it so we don't get the, the reflections. This is Birds of Paradise, and it was painted in Ajijic. So anthuriums and Birds of Paradise, they're 12 by 15 inch framed watercolors, framed in wood, and they are $105. This next group are 8 by 10 small paintings, and at that size you can see that they work really well as groupings on the wall, and at just $60 a piece you could afford to purchase more than one and make a grouping. Also, because the size is small, they work really well in smaller, intimate spots in your house, like this spot right here. These are framed with Swiss clips, which are a new modern way of framing that puts the emphasis on the artwork and not the framing itself. This first one you see is peppers, and it's from my Veggie Patch series, and stay tuned because I'll be showing more of these later in the summer. The next grouping are from Dallas Divide, which is the Mount Sneffels area. And this, these are all done on the West Fork of Dallas Creek. And if you're interested, just tell Brianna either the green with red leaves or the golden one, which would be this one, or the one with the blue shadows. The final series are more tropicals, and I grouped them more by color and light than by subject matter. So I put the crotons diagonally, and then I put the bougainvillea diagonally. And so I have 2 warm paintings on top and 2 cool paintings on the bottom. So this very first one is crotons in late afternoon light. And this was painted in Florida. And then the second one was painted on site at the Botanical Gardens in Puerto Vallarta, and it's bougainvillea. And then another croton painting, and this one was painted in morning light, also on site. And then the final one, also painted on site, was also painted in Mexico in Ajijic. This is my final grouping of paintings, and these are 11 by 14, and they're offered at $95. They're also framed with Swiss clips. The first grouping is from my color series, and the first one is called Papa, and it's an homage to poppies. And the second one is a split complementary color scheme, and I call it Cinderella Reef, which is a really beautiful place to snorkel in the Bahamas. And this final one is called Free as a Bird, and it's with complementary colors, as is the first poppy painting. The next grouping is from my Peaceful Places series, and the very first one is called Be at Peace, Seek Harmony, and the next one is Sanctuary, Aspen Grove, and another forest picture, and this one is called Refuge. And the very final painting was done as a tribute to Mother Earth, and it was inspired by the Aboriginal Dreamtime paintings, and it's called Colorado Songlines. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at the Gunnison Arts Center for the next Art Walk in July.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Chelsea Hoitt, and I am an artist at the shop at the Gunnison Arts Center. I primarily do wood burnings, but I like to dabble in other mediums as well. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been working on lately. Primarily, I have been putting up a gallery wall in my new home. This is one of my favorite pieces. It took a really long time when I was working on it. I'm very proud of it. Here's another piece I really enjoy. This one is originally an etching by Albert Dürer, The Rider, I believe it was called. I love the symbolism in this one. It took a very, very long time to do this wood burning. That is also the case with this, which is a Ponyo movie poster. Ponyo is a Studio Ghibli movie, and if you haven't checked out the Studio Ghibli movies, I highly recommend you do. They're great. Very creative. I love M.C. Escher, so I had to recreate one of his pieces. This is one of my favorites. I really enjoyed making this. Got Kramer for all your Seinfeld fans out there. This is originally a sketch by Salvador Dali. Here are a couple of pieces that I've done that are originals. These were hanging at the Gunnison Arts Center, but they were a bit faded, so I took them home and touched them up. I've recently learned that wood burnings do fade in the sun over time, but as long as you keep them in a shady area, you're all right. Here's a couple pieces I had a really fun time making. I love to press flowers and leaves, and so I made these. This one's my spring theme. This one's my fall theme. And these are really fun projects that you can do at home if you happen to be pressing flowers or leaves yourself. All I did was Mod Podge them onto the pieces of wood and then Mod Podged over them as a sort of a glaze. Over here we have some more Calvin and Hobbes fan art, some Shel Silverstein fan art, Devil Makes 3 fan art. Got Star Wars, Star Trek. If you haven't noticed, I'm a sci-fi fan and a fan of drinking tea as well. This piece I made using marble paint. I played around with marble paint and then cut out some pieces and created sort of a vector design. Don Quixote. Over here I have some rock art. This piece I did using jasper and shirt. And this piece, the dragon, is mostly calcite and some chalcedony, and the eye, I believe, is carnelian. Some watercolors. Kind of a weird acrylic piece as well. More Star Wars fan art. Here's my jackalope clock. Primus fan art. Tolkien fan art. You can see why these are all in my home, because I do not sell things that might be under copyright. Gotta play it safe, but when you're an artist, you also have to do some things that you enjoy as well. These 3 pieces are from The Runaway Bunny by Margaret Wise Brown. Wonderful children's book. I kind of recreated some of the illustrations. This is originally a piece by Audrey Kawasaki. She's a wonderful artist. And some more Shel Silverstein and Princess Mononoke fan art. I've also got a couple more rock pieces. This was a agate slice that I decorated with real rocks that I've found, as well as some glitter. Gotta use that glitter. And I attempted to make a landscape out of rock pebbles. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the little tour of my at-home gallery. stop into the shop at the Gunnison Arts Center to check out more of my work and some other work by some other amazing artists. Have a great day!
Hey everyone, I'm going to be showing you how to throw one of these Wine and Whimsy cups. This is a nice small cup that fits comfortably in hand with the bulbous base and the little polka dot stack that you see here. I already have some pieces that have been made. I typically throw off of the hump, so my clay that you see here has already been adhered to my wheel head, but I have just enough clay to finish up a Wine and Whimsy cup. So here I've opened up my form, pulled my walls, and have already started my basic steps to form the desired shape for my Wine and Whimsy cup. Now I'm going to go in with my silicone rib to further define and create that shape. Slowly pulling up my walls. As I do so, notice the hum of my wheel starting to shift and slow down as my pot develops. Here's my indicator line where I will then go in with glazed decoration, whether it be stripes or polka dots or vice versa. And because I use a lot of stain, I do really like to retain some of those lines, so I typically won't smooth out all of my throwing lines, and most importantly, with this specific piece, I enjoy the transition between decorative accents by introducing that defined line that my silicone rib allows me to incorporate. Gonna further stretch out my bulbous base. Clean things up a little bit. Compress my rim for a nice smooth spot for the lip to rest on. And at this point, I can go in with my heat gun. And a black slip to introduce my stripes at this wet stage. Going to clear off some of this excess. This will be a piece that is semi-trimmed, rounded at the bottom, 4 little nubs to go at that base, like you see here. All right, wine and whimsy, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Anyways, I'm going to shut my yap, and we're going to play another tune that Jenny wrote called Happy Tree.
Drew calls this my Bob Ross tune, but it's not about painting trees, it's about trees that live in the country and how happy they are. I'm